Hey guys, welcome back to the Atypical Declutter game. My name is April and this is Atypical Life. Today is J4, don't let it go to waste. This really relates to tip 2, but this is probably my least favorite part of decluttering, so I really want to break it up because I really despise this part. Unfortunately, making the decision to let something go is not always the hardest part, but figuring out what to do with it after that. It is really a separate challenge all on its own. Sometimes it can be just as much work. Often it is just as much work as actually doing the sorting and getting rid of things. I personally do not like to trash perfectly usable items. This belief is probably part of the reason why I struggle a little bit more with clutter. I know that some gurus recommend just getting rid of it, throwing it in the trash, because they don't want you to get stuck with your clutter in this phase, because they know how hard of a step this really is. But even though I understand their thoughts about it, it's just not for me. And I'm going to point out a few reasons why. First, we have enough trash as it is, and encouraging people to throw away usable goods is really hard for me. I really love nature. I love hiking. I love the outdoors, and I just always feel a sense of guilt throwing away usable things. Even throwing away too much trash in general, like big plastic things or whatever. I know some of this stuff can be recycled, but if you know about recycling, then you know that recycling is not the end-all be-all answer to the problem. Reduce. Reduce. So second, a common problem for people who struggle with clutter is poverty complex. So encouraging someone with a fear of poverty or not having enough to go around, encouraging that person to throw away usable items is going to get a response that might say something like, I'll just keep it. People, self-included, with this issue are not just going to throw away perfectly good stuff in the trash. So it becomes a deterrent to decluttering, because you're like, I'm not just going to throw this stuff away, so you just put it back on the shelf. Okay, then you have third, for the people who are able to throw things away. The problem here is you might be missing out on a really valuable lesson that will help you in the long run, and that lesson's about stuff in general, and that it doesn't just end when you decide you don't want it anymore. So the energy of that stuff is still here. The carcass of this stuff is still here. You have to do something with it. So putting that energy into finding homes for things that you don't want anymore is a big deterrent for overbuying. When I'm looking at something new in the store, whether it's a toy and it's something that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but it's a great deal, and I'm sitting here and I'm struggling in the store with this decision, a lot of times I'll ask myself, what am I going to be able to do with it after the new wears off? Is this something that I'm going to be able to pass on? Will I be able to get rid of it after I open it? Is anybody else going to want this thing? If the answer is yes, then sometimes I'll buy it, and then like if it's a game or something I can play a few times and then pass it on, great. If it's a single-use item, then maybe not. If it's something that nobody else, some underwear or something that nobody else is going to want after I use them, then maybe not, you know. But overbuying or over-acquiring is usually one of the biggest sources of problems with clutter for most people. So not solving this problem inevitably means you're just going to keep ending up where you started, and you're not going to keep making the reductions that are necessary, because you have to start reducing what you bring in unless you want to keep going through this phase forever and ever and ever. The fourth thing, making money. So I have figured this out through my experience that even making $1, just setting up a yard sale time and be like, I'm going to put $1 on everything. Even making $1 for my items will encourage you to let more things go if this is a struggle, if you're struggling over something. So knowing that someone might use your item, and then you get a little something in your pocket in return is a good incentive for those items that you're struggling with. Just be reasonable. You have to know that your items are worth way more to you than to anybody else. So be realistic. Be undervalued in your asking price, because the true value is that you will have less chaos in your life. Okay? I do want to make sure that I'm clear. I am not trying to discourage you from throwing away trash, okay? Learning to differentiate trash between what someone else might find as a treasure is something that will come with strengthening your decluttering muscles. An old shirt with a hole or pit stains, that's trash. Okay, broken items, trash. Don't try to save it. Don't try to fix it. If it's trash, just let it be. I do struggle with the idea of just trashing gently used clothes that are definitely could be worn by someone else. Things that are in good condition, things that could still be used. Okay, now that I'm done doing my best to discourage you from throwing things out, I am going to encourage you to make a list based in reality. Be very realistic in this list of things that you can do to get rid of these items. eBay and other top dollar sites might not be your best item, as they're pretty labor intensive. And if you had a lot of free time, you probably wouldn't be in this video. You probably wouldn't be feeling behind on your housework. You probably wouldn't have let the clutter mount up. So I really caution against thinking that you're going to get top dollar for your stuff at eBay. I would recommend you to do something faster. I will list a few ideas that I have, and I hope that you all can add some things in the comments that maybe I didn't think of, or better ideas for you. Consignment shops, especially the ones that do the tagging and stuff for you, is really nice. Neighborhood groups. So my neighborhood has a group, and sometimes, we'll ask if anybody's interested, and we'll post a few things. Friend groups, sell or give away. You can sell or give away these items. Sending things out with a free sign by the curb if you live in that type of place. I know that works for larger items around here. Habitat for Humanity will pick things up. Goodwill, other donation companies. Sometimes I get really frustrated because there's some of these companies I don't really agree with, but at the same time, they take my stuff and I don't have to deal with it anymore. And that's really nice. So we might get into the subject again if anyone has any really great ideas, or if I feel like I want to elaborate on any of these other ideas, but I'm curious. Tell us, do you have any better ideas? Do you have any other ways that you part with your items? Let us know in the comments.
All right, so I just want to point out that today's items will put me at 48, but another really cool thing about the items that I have here today. So some of these were obviously not trash items to me, but there were a few things like the light switch cover, the bubble camera, the flashcards, one of the pairs of pants, the lace and trace things that, like, honestly, I was kind of like, I feel like these might be a little bit like trash. I don't know. They just don't look so great. Maybe not so much lace and trace, but I'm like, are they worth even taking to consignment? Is anybody even going to want these? Because I do consignment with a lot of my items. And the really cool thing is that I took them to consignment and they already sold. So it really does just go to show you that, like, even if you might not think something is that valuable, like, somebody else might really want to try it or be interested in having it for themselves.
So don't forget to post your progress pics on Instagram if you want a little extra encouragement, a like or two. It's hashtag Atypical Declutter, and share it with your friends if you think they might want to join in. Thanks everyone, and see you tomorrow. Bye.